Okay. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Be Free podcast. So this episode has kind of been a long time coming. We have spoken about recording this episode for a couple of months, and then between me being off on holiday and Laura traveling around the world, spreading her magic, really delighted to have Laura here today. So Laura and I love this because Laura has a huge international following, which is actually relatively local to me. This is the first time we've really got to actually speak to each other. We're in a lot of similar groups and see each other's names popping up and stuff. But yeah, so it's delighted to have Laura Morrice, the chakra coach, with me today. So hello, Laura.
Hello, and I am absolutely delighted to be here with you, Susie. I know it's incredible that we're so close, but yeah, this is the first time we've had a chance to properly chat and connect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love it. I love it because obviously I've seen kind of what you do, and then I've also seen some of your bits and pieces. And I always get this muddled up because I'm Spirit and Soul. So is it Soul and Spirit magazine or Spirit and Destiny that I've seen you in?
It was Soul and Spirit.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, Soul and Spirit. I have to think. It's so bad. Do you know why? It's because there was Spirit and Destiny also wanted me to write for them.
Mhm.
But now both of those magazines are no longer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the production there are no spiritually based magazines that you can buy now. There's only online versions, but no, both of them got dropped by the publication company
Okay.
at the
Little
same time.
opportunity there for somebody, publishers out there listening, get it out there because there's nothing better than having those magazines in your hand and chilling in the bath and yeah.
How nice was it to have, I even before I was writing, and doing this type of thing with my work, that I looked forward to that. I knew when the editions were coming out, I, get it from my local supermarket or newsagents. And it is that they would get picked up and scanned the whole month, little, yeah, it is. I think it's a huge miss. It's a huge mess. And I
Okay,
like a physical copy.
yeah, we need to sort that out. Okay, so do you want to just do a little intro for those that are listening, kind of who you are, all that jazz?
Okay, I'm Laura Morrice, and work-wise, I'm known as the chakra coach because I use the chakra system. It forms the basis of my work, not only for healing, but also for teaching my clients about the conditioning that they've gone through in their life through no fault of their own. We're all subjected to life's conditioning, and also the limiting beliefs that we've picked up as a direct result of that. So the chakra system to me is it's so empowering. So that's hence the professional name. But I am also a daughter, a sister. I am a mum and stepmom, a wife. Very full life that is all now surrounded or based upon energy alignment. So everything that I do, everything, I begin my day by aligning my energy, knowing that then everything that happens, everybody I come into contact with, everything that I put out is then in that state of energetic alignment. And as life chooses to then throw me curveballs, I'm better prepared for dodging them, catching them, whatever it may be. But yeah.
Incredible, amazing. So yeah, I love that. And ultimately, I take it it's been a journey to get there. You've got a huge range of tools and experiences. And yeah, I had a little look on your website and saw all the various things that you kind of weave into the work that you do. But what kind of drew you to this field of work, or how long have you been doing these kind of things?
Okay. When I look back over my life, I can see I was always being directed to this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not at the time, but as I look back, so when I was 18, I went to college to study beauty and complementary therapy. That was off of the back of a 2-year-long heroin addiction. That was my first low point in life.
Mm-hmm.
And I got clean and took my power back and, you know, all of that stuff. But I hadn't really done any emotional healing. So then I went to college and studied beauty and complementary therapy, because at the time you couldn't do them separate.
Mm-hmm.
That's how long ago that was. And I loved both. I had a natural ability for both, but it was really massage and aromatherapy. I was introduced to reflexology. So that's when I first found out about zone therapy, and the chakras came into that as well. So interest was sparked.
Mm-hmm.
And then as life went on, I then went up to, I managed the spa up at Skibo Castle for a few years.
Nice.
Yeah, it's lovely up there, and I still go up regular. I just love it up there, and I still get to visit Skibo now and again as well. So that's very nice.
Super lush.
Yeah, it is. And but when you lived there, you see, yes, it's super lush, but when I walk in, it just feels like home because I was there for so long. But during that time, I got into another relationship, and it was with someone that I would have classed as one of my best friends at the time. And at the time I thought, and I remember thinking, I wasn't hugely attracted to him physically, but absolutely loved him, and he made me laugh. And I thought, you're safe. Not identifying really that I was making that choice because I hadn't healed from the emotional trauma.
Yeah.
So long story short, that relationship lasted for 6 years, and I was more lost then than at the end of my heroin addiction years. And it was at that point when I'd made the decision, right, this is over, that universe went, finally.
Mm-hmm.
And I was then catapulted into the esoteric world of healing. So I'd already studied little bits and bobs, but that's when the universe went, right. And I went and studied my Reiki with an amazing Reiki master. And she'd said at the time, she was, I don't normally do this. And she said, but my guides are telling me to offer you, if you want to do the rest of your training sooner rather than later, then you can. So I think I did. It still wasn't fast tracked, really. I don't agree with like the 3-day Reiki courses and stuff that you get online. It needs to be time, but within a year and a half, I'd qualified as my Reiki master. I did my crystal healing as well. That really opened my world up to meditation. And then over the years, I've continued adding tools. Everything I work with, I've used on me to develop. And then I now follow my intuition. So when other tools have been added in, EFT and TFT were again huge, just amazing tools. The results that we can get in a session with clients using these things, and they work with the chakra system as well and tapping on the meridians. So I've went and done that, and I continue adding different tools to my box when I get a strong urge to then go and study that, when I know it's going to be something else that can open up. So yeah, but it saved me.
Yeah.
That's basically what it did. When I got into it, the chakra system opened me up to following the breadcrumbs. That's what I liken it to.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to make sense of the wrong decisions, the bad choices. From those, I was able to uncover superpowers, if you like, that I had picked up. And they all linked in so easily to parts of my intuition and my spiritual development that was wakening up. So This work basically saved me. It made sense of my life. It helped me uncover who I really am underneath all the false layers.
Mm-hmm.
And then it led me to unlock like my higher calling, my highest potential. And I keep following it, and it continues to deliver all of this to me. So yeah, I couldn't walk away from this work even if I tried, because I feel
Yeah.
it's so heavily ingrained into who and what I am, and results speak for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the more the positive results that I continue to get, and also my clients, the more it backs up and confirms my belief
Mm-hmm.
in all of this work,
Mm-hmm.
what we do.
Beautiful, incredible. And yeah, I can feel how passionate you are about everything that you do. And obviously you mentioned there kind of how the reflexology kind of brought you towards the chakras, and then the Reiki will have brought you towards the chakras. And so like, when did you kind of realize, okay, this is it, this is actually like the key?
It'll be about 15 years ago, maybe just more than 15 years ago, that it was like, no, this is it. But again, as the years have evolved and continued, it continues to get more and more, oh my God, no, this is it. And I think it was about 2 years ago, because when you first get into coaching and stuff, and I'm sure you'll have been the same, Susie, you'll have started and you'll have came up with a name,
Yeah.
you know, for your business that
This was
suits
my
you.
original name from when I did beauty therapy, and then I moved away and I changed it, and then I come back to it again.
Oh wow! Oh, so you started in beauty as well.
Yeah.
I love this, you know, synchronicities I do in the connections. Well, I'd started off, and it was something like, it was Laura Morrice. Was it holistic coaching or something? But anyway, none of them were quite right, and they kept getting nearer the mark, but none of them were quite right. And then it was just one day I was just sitting, and it was like thinking about the chakra system, and it was like, it's the chakra coach.
Mm-hmm.
It's the chakra coach. And I knew then, like, I thought some people are not going to know what this is. I thought, but it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter. This embodies who I am, what I teach,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and when people don't know, they're quick to ask questions, you know, well, what is this? But, and again, so 2 years ago, I rebranded as the chakra coach, and then it's just continued to solidify it even more.
Mm-hmm.
As time goes on, it seems to get, there's more clarity and more focus around it.
Yeah.
But yeah, 15 years ago was when I knew
I love it.
this is my internal energetic map.
Mm-hmm.
It holds all of the blockages I've picked up along the way. The blockages can then lead me onto all of the limiting beliefs I operate or operated by.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, when you remove all of that, what's left is your energy in a perfect balance of truth and light. And from that, because we're all individuals, that then highlights our unique path through this. And there's no one that I've worked with that hasn't been the case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the proof's in the pudding, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And for those that are listening, I imagine many people would know what the chakra system is that is listening. But for those
Yeah.
that are maybe a bit unfamiliar with it, what are the chakras and how can they support people?
Okay. The chakras are energy centers within our bodies. Now, if you cut us open, they're not there to physically see, but they are access points. So they first originated in Vedic texts, which dates back to about 1500 BC. So for anyone who thinks that they're a new age concept, there's
I don't even know why.
nothing.
Why is New Age called New Age? Because there's nothing new about the New Age stuff, is there?
There's nothing new about a lot of the stuff that's coming up, but I think a lot of the new age gurus, if you like, are very clever marketers.
Okay.
And in that sense, so I can't really stand the term New Age. I don't like woo-woo either. I get really annoyed by it because it's implying that it's not real. It's made up. And now science is catching up with and beginning to prove what ancient cultures have known for eons and widely practiced. So the chakras are basically energy centers. Now there's 7 major chakras within our physical bodies. And what these energy centers do is they allow for subtle life force energy to flow to and through us. Now, when they're open and when they're in a state of balance, energy can flow through properly. It allows us to be at our optimal state of being. But when negative experiences and conditions happen in life, and they impact us in a negative emotional way, what happens is we then shut down these energy centers. And we don't shut ourselves down to the negative energy coming in. We shut ourselves down once we've experienced that, trapping it within us. But it continues to circulate. But because it's been trapped under a negative emotional circumstance or, you know, whatever that's happened, the negativity continues to grow in momentum. So each one of the 7 chakras have a particular main concern. They govern over an area in life. They all have a positive and negative archetype. So for example, the root chakra is the one that's at the base of the spine. The color that's associated with it is the color red. And its main area of concern is what we need for basic human survival. So things like shelter, safety, food, all these things. So under that will govern your home environment and also your place within the community. How safe do you feel in it? How protected are you in it? How well have your needs been provided for? So if you grow up in a home environment that doesn't feel very safe and secure, you're going to have more blockages related to fear. It's not going to be very easy for someone to be trusting that they are safe, that they're provided for and protected for. So for them to be in a state of balance and full faith is going to require them to have a look at the conditioning they went through while they were younger that's added to them. Well, I don't feel safe. I don't feel secure. I don't trust that everything I need in this life to survive and thrive is here, because it's going to be based on their life experiences they've had already.
Yeah.
So the negative archetype of that chakra is the victim, because the victim lives in a state of fear. The victim expects the worst. The victim doesn't have that high expectations that life's going to work out beautifully for them. The positive archetype for the root chakra is Mother Earth. Now, Mother Earth is the supply of abundance of everything we need or want, because everything that we do need for our basic human survival is here already. Everything we need to create safety and shelter, all food, that's all here. Mother Earth is also abundant in nurturing love. Because when we look at Mother Earth, that's what she does. She creates, she supplies an abundance. So when our root chakra is in a balanced state, we can resonate with all of those positive, higher emotional states. And we can then live in a state of faith, as opposed to a state of fear. And if we're in a state of fear, that's showing that our root chakra is closed off. We're trapping in these negative emotions that keep us in that state. And when they go on long enough, us not then picking up on the cues, eventually these non-physical energies will manifest in our physical energy, so in our body, as some form of ailment or dis-ease that's also trying to get our attention, saying, look, you're out of whack here, and this is where your attention's required.
Yeah.
So all of our energy centers do that, but they govern different areas.
Thank you. Amazing. Yeah. And I think often people wait till this last minute, don't they, till there is the disease or, before they seek the support. It's almost like the last port of call, isn't it? And
Yeah.
you'll be the same. You discovered this through a low moment. I've discovered my spirituality, because my body was screaming, my mind was screaming. And yeah, it's incredible once we can begin to attune and align to these energy centers within our bodies, the messages that we can receive, and yeah, the opportunity to, as you mentioned, as soon as you started that alignment, coming back to that space of alignment, realigning.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So for anybody that's kind of listening or watching this, is there something that you can maybe guide us through chakra related, or that they could experience themselves, or?
I think one of the easiest things that people can do right now, if they want to, and it's creating heart-brain coherence within us. Now, this is done, it's very easy to do, and I would class it as a meditation, but at the same time, it's also a breathing exercise. And then you can also pull in your powers of visualization while you're doing it as well. But one of the easiest ways is to sit or lie down, but sitting's probably easier, ensuring that arms and legs are not crossed. We want to have our feet flat on the ground. In the beginning, it's really good, especially for people who aren't used to anything like this, is just to take one hand. It doesn't really matter which, but if you were asking me for a preference, I would say left hand, because the left hand is connected to the divine feminine part of our being. The heart is an emotional heart center, so that then connects in with the emotional side of our body as well. So just take your left hand and place it over the center of your chest. That's where your heart chakra is located. And then just close down your eyes. And we're going to take long, slow, deep, rhythmic breaths. And we're going to inhale through our nose. Try to fill up the stomach and diaphragm first, then the lungs. And then we're going to exhale out through the nose. And we're just going to continue this breathing pattern. And then we're going to add into the mix. On every inhale, I want you to imagine, to feel, and to see that you are inhaling love directly into your heart chakra. And on every exhale, we're going to exhale love out through every part of our being. And that love is going to extend out from our physical bodies, out into our aura, and it's going to begin to create this beautiful, high vibe torus field all around us. And we're just going to continue breathing that love in, breathing out love. Now, when we're breathing the love in, don't just imagine it coming in with and through your breath. See every cell of your being pulling in unconditional love from all around you. Because unconditional love is all around you. And then continue breathing it out, expanding your torus field, raising your vibration, allowing your heart chakra to begin to open up fully. Now you may start to feel a warm tingling sensation underneath your hand. You may start to feel an expansiveness within your chest as your heart chakra begins to open up. It may also feel a little bit tight for anyone that is more used to shutting down their heart chakra as opposed to opening it up. But you're in a safe place. You are safe and protected. And it is right for you to open up your heart fully, to give and receive unconditional love. This is a natural state of being. It's only through life's circumstances and conditions that we learned to shut off our hearts in the first place. So revisiting this exercise daily for 5 to 10 minutes at a time, morning and night, will begin to allow you to open up again to this natural state of being. How's that feeling, Susie? Can you feel your heart opening up? Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Yeah, softening, just finding that peace again, isn't it? Just really
Yes.
connecting inwards, releasing all the other stuff that's happened before,
Yes.
and
Yeah, absolutely.
setting you up again.
And having that intention in your heart space, again, you hit on it there, shutting out the outside noise.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of people nowadays live day to day, distracted all of the time. And if we're distracted by outside noise and circumstance, we're not learning how it is to sit with ourselves. And that's the only way to make that connection. It's the only way to have trust in your intuition and inner knowing. If you never sit with yourself, how can you begin to trust your gut?
Yeah.
Or know? So many people say, I've had a sign, what does it mean? And I say, that's not for me
Mm-hmm.
to decipher, because the sign is for you.
Mm-hmm.
But so many people are then, oh, I don't know if it means this or means that, because they haven't built up a relationship with themselves in which they can discern.
Yeah.
Should I go this way? Should I go that way? So again, creating this heart-brain coherence is going to help increase that inner intuition, the trust, the faith, the inner knowing.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Thank you, Laura, for sharing that. And yeah, everybody give it a bash. Let us know in the comments and reach out to us and let us know how you feel after that practice. So simple and so powerful. So yeah, so obviously we've done that little practice there. A lot of my listeners are kind of looking for inspiration and yeah, like just find it really inspiring to hear what other people are up to. So what kind of tools and techniques do you use to support your own mental health? Obviously, you mentioned kind of previous mental health things and addiction. Like, what do you use to really support yourself mentally, emotionally, physically now?
My biggest tool in my box is meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one thing that all of my clients, it's like you will be developing a daily meditation habit now. And it's not just while they work with me, it's then for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Like I said just moments ago, we have to begin to know ourselves. And the only way to do that is to create a quiet time and space for us to close down our eyes, shut out the noise of the outside world, and to also shut out the noise of our monkey mind,
Mm-hmm.
which is the distracting thoughts, which is normally the voice of the ego. And to sit. Now, so many people say, I've tried meditation, it doesn't work. My mind won't switch off.
Mm-hmm.
I can't focus. I don't know if I'm doing it right. To which I always reply, when you first start going to the gym, or you maybe first start running, or whatever it is. You don't expect to run a marathon the first day or to go into the gym and pick up the heaviest of weights. And it's the same with meditation. Meditation is how we train our minds to stop focusing on the outside noise, so that just for a short while, we can create a space of inner stillness. Because it's through the inner stillness we can start to hear the voice of our higher self. We start to get that internal nudges of, this is the way to tackle this challenge. Or so it's meditation, definitely. And begin small. Begin with 5 minutes and build up. And the other important thing I want to say about meditation is, it's not about getting to a destination. It's not about hitting that moment of Christ secretion within, or the Kundalini rising. These are all added benefits that can and will happen. But it's the journey. It's every day when you sit down in that time and space, you're sending that signal to your subconscious mind. This is my time. This is me choosing to come back into the driver's seat of my life, to send out a clear signal. I am the creator of my reality. I'm silencing out the outside noise. This is my focus. And ultimately, and I don't mean this in a religious context, but it's forming the most important relationship we'll ever form in our life. And it's with the God within, with source within, universal energy, whatever label people feel comfortable using. That's what it's creating. And it's from that space that we create everything. So it begins and ends with us. So meditation by far is the most important tool. But I'll also add in grounding, like getting to the beach, getting out into nature and walking barefoot. You know, whenever I'm overwhelmed with something, it's nature, and I get that connection. Meditation does also provide that, but it's reconnecting. Any tool that's going to allow you to reconnect to that sacred space within and to nature will amplify your internal point of attraction instantly. So they're my go-tos.
You're speaking my language, lady.
There's only one language to speak, it's the language of love.
Yeah. Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. Agree with all of those things that you've said, and yeah, all the objections that people have towards these things as well. You know, it's just, and each day is different. Like I've been practicing meditation since I was 15, and each day is different. Some days I don't get it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, shut up, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that journey, isn't it? You know, it's not that
Yeah.
linear
I'm
path to enlightenment.
It is. There's some days, there's some days I will sit down. I remember somebody asking me not long ago, what's the most profound meditation you've ever had? I was like, well, I've had a few experiences of Kundalini rising. You know, I've had that experience on more than one occasion. I've also had a meditation where in it, and I was in this complete space of darkness. And then in a moment, it was like I hope you get that, you will get it. It's hard to put into words, but in that moment, and then I'd let go of everything, and then there was just this realization, and I was a ripple on the face and the water. That's what I was. I was a ripple. My consciousness was a ripple on the face that was on the water. And I knew what that was in relation to. It was going back to Revelations in the beginning. Before there was anything, God's Spirit appeared on the water. And it was just like, wow. And in that moment of realizing I was this ripple on water, it was such a profound knowing of oneness. And I know people can hear that, and it might be hard to relate to because the relating in it is it's that feeling of oneness, and it can come in many different ways, but when you do experience it, there's no going back from that level of awareness. And then you don't care. Then you realize it's not about hitting that every time.
Yeah.
It's showing up for yourself and giving yourself the opportunity for that experience to come in, knowing that it'll all come at the right time, but through that daily commitment to that inner relationship, beautiful things then flow from there.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I ask all my guests, this podcast is the Be Free podcast. I ask all my guests, what is it to you, Laura, that makes you feel free?
No longer being burdened by the false limitations that life used to have me believing. And we're all a victim of that. But yes, stepping out of the victim mask, I suppose, that came with that, and realizing life's not happening to me, it's happening for me. And that's, yeah, I know there's many awful things that we could focus on when we look out into the world, but when you take all of those false illusions away, this is our playground for creation. Having that moment of realization was great freedom. But yeah, freedom to be me, freedom to not now be controlled by other people's opinions, or worse still, what I used to think those opinions were, you know? Yeah. Freedom just to live and be, realizing that in any moment, doesn't matter what's happening, I can center my energies and say, no, I'm going in this direction. And we all have that power at any given moment to say, no, change direction.
Incredible. Awesome. Thank you so, so much. Obviously, I will share all your links and things in the show notes and podcast notes and things like that. But what's the best way for people to connect with you if they've resonated with what you had to say today or want to work with you? How can they do that?
Best social media is probably Facebook. I am on Instagram as well, but go onto Facebook and look for Laura Morrice, the Chakra Coach. I am developing my YouTube channel, which there'll be more content going up, but that's going to be a great channel for actual content that people can go on and watch and things that they can start to do. There's a few meditations up there as well already. And my website, if they want to know more about services, working with me one-to-one, or if their interests have been sparked in learning more about mastering their energy, then there's my online self-study course, Beginner's Guide to Chakras, and that's a lifetime access to that course. It's designed to grow with you. You don't just do it once. It's material you'll go back and visit over and over and over and over again, and you'll continue to get more out of it and grow more with it. So all of that's on the website, which is lauramorrice.com.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. And we'll have to get a real live meetup and interaction.
Yes, we will. Yes, we absolutely will. You're Ellen, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Not far from me. Yeah, we'll get that organised.
Definitely, definitely. So thank you so much for coming today, sharing your magic, sharing your wisdom, inspiring the community. I will look forward to catching up with you soon in the future. Is there anything else you want to add before we jump off today?
I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me into your space, inviting me in to share what I have to say with your listeners. It's been beautiful. I could have sat and spoke to you for hours,
Yeah.
hours and hours and hours. But yeah, thank you so, so much. Truly appreciated, and a heart full of gratitude for you and
Oh,
for your
thank you.
podcast, because it's important to share all of this. It's great. I think podcasts are an amazing tool now for people to get that moment of inspiration or motivation throughout their day. So thank you for providing a very valuable service, Susie.
Oh, thank you. Reflecting that back at you. Amazing. So lovely to have you. We shall say our goodbyes for now, and I will look forward to seeing you in the future, Laura.
Thank you so much. Goodbye,
Bye.
everyone. Mwah.